Today's collectible spot, we're having a look at the Kidrobot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Keychain series. Unlike most Kidrobot pieces, this actually is not a blind box. This is actually just a clamshell case showing us which Kidrobot Ninja Turtle figure we get. And Spot ultimately ended up going with Shredder. An interesting, to say, story to follow this as well. But on the back of the package, you can head over to www.nick.com for everything Nickelodeon, but you can also head over to www.kidrobot.com to check out not only the keychain pieces, but certainly all the other things that they're producing as well. There are a total of 7 characters on the back, featuring all 4 turtles. There's Splinter, Robot Android Krang, there is Bebop Rocksteady, Shredder, and a Foot Soldier. You can collect all 10. Spot almost collected all 10. I actually went to my comic book store. It's not a comic book store I go to a lot, but I went into the comic book store, I picked up a whole bunch of different things, and saw these. And the price tag listed on the outside displayer, so if you looked at it, the display box opened up like a top flap, and then all of these were like this. I'm doing it this way, I'm really badly recreating this scenario. But I looked at the price tag and thought I saw $1.95, which in my mind, it justified to me, okay, that made sense. It seemed like $1.95 seemed like it was very little. And there was a smudge actually in the front of the 1 that looked to me like a dollar sign. So $1.95, I assumed, okay, that makes sense. Blind box figures as a whole tend to be anywhere from $5 to $10 a piece. So when I saw the regular Kidrobot Ninja Turtle figures before, those in blind boxes were a little under $10. These, a lot smaller, $1.95, makes perfect sense. So Spot actually went and picked up, I think, all of these. I think the only one they maybe didn't have was the Foot Soldier. Took it up to the counter, and the gentleman up the front said, you know, oh, your total is 100 and I don't remember what the amount was. And I said, no, that doesn't seem right. And he says, oh no, the Kidrobot keychains are $11.95 a piece. $11.95 a piece. And you know, to nothing against the clerk there, he was actually a really nice guy. The downside though is, and I don't blame him because, you know, of course the companies that supply the stores with these, I mean, I'm a big supporter of following and supporting the comic book stores. It's the manufacturers that distribute to the stores and allot a certain markup. So if they charge the stores, let's say $7 for these, the store then has to add whatever, $1 or $2 or whatever, so that they can make profit on the sell. That's how retail works. So I don't blame necessarily the store for charging that much for these. I blame Kidrobot. I mean, look at the size of these pieces. $11.95 for something this small is really ridiculous. Needless to say, though, packaging, I also like the fact it's the classic 80s cartoon. Though the logo, despite the fact this is classic Shredder, the logo is more reminiscent of the current line, so I kind of find that funny too. Spot, though, is going to cut his rant short. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at a Rokosaki, the Shredder keychain. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more heading your way. Stay tuned. So, having a look at the Shredder, yes, he is very, very small, as, again, this is just a keychain figure. It's essentially taking the larger scale version of the Turtles, removing the articulation, so Shredder here won't have any sort of articulation to speak of, and putting a lanyard or keychain clip on him so that you can use them with your keys. Now, you can furthermore, if you want, you can take this off. There's a couple of things you can do. You can take this completely off. Spot doesn't always have, unfortunately, the fine surgical hands required to do this, but you can take this off, you can unhook this, and if you don't want to have it as a keychain, you can have it just as a straight out clip. And I guess really for that one better, If you really wanted to, you could probably even just unscrew this on the top here and you just have like a little collectible of the shredder. I normally probably would have done that, but you know what? I like the shredder here, and I will probably have him as an actual keychain, which was the reason why I want to pick him up. But you know what? I don't want to really bog down a video here, but really, $11.95 for the shredder. As cool as he is, let's not mix words here. Shredder is a very cool looking character, but by a scale comparison, here is the foot soldier that Spot has already reviewed, and you know my luck with, unfortunately, I had every single box I opened was a foot soldier, but you see a foot soldier here, you see the shredder. The shredder is maybe to the elbow of the foot soldier. Now the foot soldier does have articulation, though yes, very limited. He does have articulated arms and no articulated feet, but this also was probably about, I think maybe about $7, $8. $7, $8 for the blind box of the Foot Clan. And now granted, you could go to, depending on where you get it, the turtles, these turtle pieces, the blind boxes, I got online because the local comic book stores actually didn't carry them. But I think even when I ordered them online, they were a little less than $10. Now you compare that to Shredder. Shredder is, I keep wanting to say this almost in a Krang voice, but Shredder here, for how small he is, he was a couple of dollars more than the larger figures. I can't justify that. No matter how much I love the Turtles toys, no matter how much I think Kidrobot did a bang-up job on these pieces, I can't justify, you know, wanting to get, and I really would have loved to have gotten the whole set of these, but to pay $12 for every single one of these, and there are, what did I say, 8 in the set? That's expensive. That is extremely expensive. So I'd be more inclined, if I was to spend $10 on either, yeah, pretty sure I'm going to be spending more on the blind box figures, getting a much larger version of Shredder, than I would with getting a smaller version of Shredder. But still, I'm looking forward to actually putting him on my keychain. I think he's really neat. I might even just have him hanging from my window in my car. Again, despite the fact that he has no articulation to speak of, he has even no articulation in the head, which would have been at least something nice. He is just, again, a smaller version of the larger Shredder, just without that articulation. But all the aspects, all the things I really liked about the Shredder in the 80s cartoon are present. You know, the silver dome, silver faceplate, the side blades of the Shredder, and of course his big purple cape. He does have a shirt on, unlike the original Playmates Shredder. But I mean, you know, he is neat. It's hard for me to really say, if somebody was to say, would you recommend these? As you know, it tends to be with these videos. Somebody will say, ultimately always say, well, Spot, would you recommend them? I would recommend these only if you want a specific character. Like for me, of all the pieces, I probably would have been more interested in either a Bebop, Rocksteady, or Shredder. Of those three, I definitely would have wanted Shredder the most. So I'm happy that I got Shredder, and I would say recommend it only if you want a specific figure. They're not worth spending $100 plus to get every single figure that's in this set. I think that's really ridiculous. But, you know, if you're a fan of Shredder like I am, for example, I would say if you have a little extra money and you want to get yourself a really cool looking keychain, yes. But other than the diehard collectors that are going to want specifically one character, it's too expensive of a collectible that you would want to be getting every single one of them. I would say, you know, it's a shame Kidrobot. I'm assuming, again, Kidrobot probably were responsible for the cost being as high on these. It's just way too much for a piece this small. Still, for a diehard collector out there, I think it's a good piece, just not worth $12. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the Kidrobot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle keychains. We're having a look today at the Shredder. Don't go anywhere, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.